Everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is May 20th, 2019. If I sound a little off, a little funny, I had a situation here last week where I bit into something that was not as soft as my teeth apparently are, and I busted the back molar back here. And while I wait for my insurance to kick in at the beginning of the month, I am just sort of babysitting my way through it. So, really, the tooth itself doesn't hurt, but it cut up my tongue during the day, because this happened at work, and I really couldn't, do anything about driving. So, as it stands right now, I have everything numbed up and feeling okay. So we're gonna do this video. Hobbycat says hello, and we'll see how well it works. But in the meantime, we'll just sort of plow through and hope for the best. And I sound like I have braces, but it is what it is. And like I said, we'll soldier through. So we have some kit releases to talk about here, domestically as well as overseas. A couple of new things, one outright new thing here domestically, and so again, we'll probably be a little short to keep my mouth from catching on fire here. But on the domestic side of things, we have one release from Mobius, two releases from Round 2. The Mobius kit is one I know a lot of the drag folks have been waiting for, although technically speaking, there's like everybody knew about it except for the livery that's included in it. And it is this. It is the Dino Don Nicholson's Mercury Comet Cyclone AFX Mercury. Basically, this is the same as the Artie Beswick kit, just with a different decal sheet in it. Otherwise, all the parts, I'm pretty sure, should carry over. So really, other than the utility bed Ford, all of the expected kits we were going to get here in the May-June arena have come in as far as the Mobius stuff did, because of course the step side pickup or the flare side, however we look at it, came in last week. So now we're just waiting on the Model King release of, I guess it'd be a 65 Ford pickup with that utility bed. So that's out for people who are interested in it. And over at Round 2, we got two kits. First up is this. It is a reissue of the 1953 Ford pickup truck. Venerable old pickup kit from the folks at AMT. This time it has the Coca-Cola livery, because what doesn't have a Coca-Cola livery at this point with Round 2? Same kit as you always get. There's nothing new about this kit whatsoever, other than the fact that it has the die-cast vending machine and die-cast little push trolley cart. I think they're calling it a dolly. It's not really a dolly like we would consider one today. I guess it's period correct from the 1950s or whatever this vending machine and dolly setup is supposed to be. But other than that, it's what you see is what you get here. You guys should know by now what comes in this 53 Ford, because, I mean, it's from the 1960s. So, just a rebox with the Coca-Cola livery. And then there was the release of this, which is a new tool from AMT Round 2, folks, and it is the Get On Up! Two-post hydraulic lift quasi-diorama. I mean, you do get a figure with this. You get a impact wrench, I guess, with a coiling of airline, as well as, of course, the base and the lift itself. The lift kind of looks like a downsized, if you will, because the Fujimi tools are 1/24 scale. A downsized version of their two-post lift. Allegedly, it is adjustable up and down, as well as moving the lift plates out and pivoting them. I did see somebody recently have a model kit sitting on one of these things, so apparently it is strong enough to hold model kit up. I would not put a die cast on it by any stretch of the imagination. So that takes care of the domestic stuff. Now, moving overseas, there are a couple of modified reissues, a couple of just new boxings, and of course just the normal plethora of restocks. We'll start over at Fujimi. They had one restock and two modified reissues. The restock is this. It is the Audi 90 Quattro 20 valve. This was reissued in its sort of these new boxes that are very, very boring in terms of their box artwork. I want to say last year, maybe a year and a half ago at this point. So this is just getting a restock rerun. Basic curbside kit and all that, which covered it back when it came out originally. And then they have the two modified reissues, which are another versions of the Suzuki Hustler. This time it is the Hustler G, which is the sort of base model Suzuki Hustler, if you will. You look at the box art here. This is the Phoenix Red Metallic molded in color version. You can see it has new steel wheels, as well as little clear pieces that you put over the window, little gutter guards that let you drive around with the windows down just a little bit in the rain and stuff like that without getting your interior wet. Other than that, they're a straight reissue of the Suzuki Hustler, just the wheels and the gutter guards, and there's one piece for the interior, which I believe removes like the in-dash navigation system and just puts like a clock kind of thing in there. So, you know, if you count the wheels as one part, there's 3 new pieces to this, or 6, depending on if you want to count the wheels separately. Same tires, everything else. Everything else is the same. So there's the red metallic version, and then there's also this yellow Phoenix version, I believe is what they're calling this. Or one's red Phoenix. Let's see here. Active yellow. Phoenix red metallic and active yellow. So, like the other ones, these are snap pack kits. You're not supposed to paint them. You're not supposed to glue them in the sense of just assembling them. They're easy kits based for the new builder, returning builder. They're really well engineered and things like that. You know, they're. I don't want to compare them to the Revell snap pack kits of the 90s because they're so not that in terms of like some of those Revell kits were full detail and stuff like that. But it is similar. They're very well engineered, very conscious of their parts, content, and layout as far as what they give you and how they give it to you in terms of building. They'll allow them to do different versions of these kits as time goes on. Neither one of these, unfortunately, comes with water slides. They are a Mylar press and stick sheet only. So keep that in mind. We'll see if they release any more Suzuki Hustler Gs in the future. I'm guessing that they want to do all of the background colors at this point because they've done, like, I think 5 with the original Suzuki Hustler, and this is 2 more with the Hustler Gs. I think at this point the only ones they haven't done are these bottom row of the lime green, the forest green, and that sort of violet color. I think they have done the other ones at this point. So maybe there's more coming in with the Suzuki Hustler G in those colors. We'll see. Now we'll go over to Hasegawa and a couple of Reeboks reissues and a couple of restocks. The restocks are a couple of Group C cars. First up is the Toyota Team Tom's Toyota 88C. Was set up for the 1989 Le Mans run. So this is just a straight restock. Also in the straight restock is the Kenworth Kremer Porsche 962C for the Japanese sports car prototype series. So that is back out if you didn't happen to get one. On the Reeboks, new Reeboks, if you will, I mean, these kits are reissues, but they're in new boxes, new kit numbers, and things like that, is the Toyota Celica Turbo 4-wheel drive from the 1993 Monte Carlo Rally. We just had the rack rally version of this a few months ago, or maybe it was last month, and so this gives you the off-road suspension options, pretty much the same livery, same drivers and things like that. This is the winning vehicle from the 1993 Monte Carlo Rally. And then you have the Esso Super Delta, the Team Esso Lancia Super Delta HF Integral. This is the 1993 European Rally Championship, the Piancavallo, I believe is the way this is the word there. Yeah, Piancavallo Rally winner, so obviously it's an Italian rally. It appears, I didn't look at the decal sheets really closely on this because they came in like when I was at work, so I just glanced at the decal sheet. But it looks like you paint the front bumper, the rear bumper, and the roof, if you want to, gold, and then the decals will do everything else. I do believe there is a large decal for the roof. Because it is sort of double white bound, where it has a couple of white circles printed into the gold where the Esso logos on the roof go, so that the Esso logo doesn't sort of bleed through the gold. But otherwise, there is no like great big wrap for the bumpers. There's the decals for the side of the car, the decals for the hood of the car, and there are wrap decals for the sort of the C-pillar going down over the back of the trunk. But the bumpers themselves have to paint gold, and obviously the roof is an option to paint that gold if you don't want to try to use the decal. Should be interesting to get a gold that matches the decals on that, especially since you're going to paint the car black. It's going to really dark base the gold, but it is what it is in that sense. Work around it. The Esso team also ran a 037 in the EGR in the European Rally Championship, or ECR. That's because EGR. The ECR So those decals, I think, are still available from Studio 27 if you want to make like a matching set of these. But just a reissue of, like I said, of an existing kit, but kind of fun to have it back. It hasn't been out for about 15 years. And that'll take us over to Aoshima, which had a whole bunch of restocks, especially in the initial D series, as well as a few other things. There's nothing... Well, I should say there's 2 reboxed reissues to talk about. They're actually a little out of date at this point. They were supposed to come out a while ago, and they just came out this week. But the non-initial D reissues are this, the C West R34 GTR. So, I mean, I don't feel the need to go into these kits over and over again when you guys should know by now what's involved, especially when we're just doing restocks. That's in, and then this also came back, the Pingani Warrior, the Pinchetto Tempesta version. So that is back out as well. Over on the initial D side of things here, we have all 3 versions of the AE86 Toyota Truno, the Takumi Fujiwara version. So you have the Volume 1 comic book version, just the straight introduction to the series. Hey, this guy drives a tofu delivery vehicle. So that's out. Then you have the Project D version of the kit, which is the next one in the line as far as the progression of the parts. So this has optional engine parts and things like that. Coming from the Project D series version of the comic book. And then you have the Volume 37 version, which is the one we always tell you guys to get because it has pretty much everything that the kit includes. You can build this everything from the Volume 1 all the way up through Volume 37. It includes a whole bunch of engine parts, a roll cage, racing seat, racing steering wheel, things like that. This is the sort of pinnacle of the hero car. As far as I know, nobody offers the Toyota MRZ that he races in Volume 37, but be that as it may. Then we have over here, we have Sakamoto's Suzuki Cappuccino. So this is the Suzuki Cappuccino factory stock kit with a different set of wheels in it and a bigger wraparound front bumper. You do not actually cut the original bumper off. You just put this bumper cover around it. So that's back. And then you have this right here, which is Takahashi Ryosuke's FCS RX-7. You see you get engine parts with this kit. It is an engine insert, not an entire engine. But that kit is back out. Of the FC3Ss, this only comes JDM style because it's part of the initial D comic book series. So obviously, left-hand drive parts not included. Reminder: all 3 of the AE86 Trunos, of course, come with engine parts. Those are the guaranteed engines, pretty much, because all the optional engine pieces they created for those 3 kits over the series. Those 3 kits always have engines in them, no matter like if we mentioned it or not. They always do. And then, let's see here. I think we had something else, didn't we? Didn't we? I thought we had more initial D kits. I'm looking. I don't see any more. So, a couple other reissue, just factory, just straight reissues, include this, the Vertex S15 Sylvia. Of course, the old D1 Grand Prix card, reboxed into a Vertex-type sponsor thing. This got a little bit more of its livery back than previous reissues of it. Although this is a reissue, it's kit number 8 of the Toon Car series. So this, of course, was done about 2 years ago now. And then you have this over here, which is the Ings tuning version of the Impreza WRX 2007 version. I believe you get the 2010 parts in here as well because this was reissued after the factory stock version was reissued. And the factory stock version is in a reissued box that lets you build either the 2007 or 2010. So I think that those parts just sort of carry over into the tuner version. So that's back out. And then we have the 2 reboxed reissues that are new this month, and they are pre-painted versions of the 2012 Toyota 86. And I'm going to sort of go back here. These are supposed to come out in March, so they're just out now. First up, you have the Ice Silver Metallic version. So, again, pre-painted Aoshima kits for people who don't follow the show real closely or are new to the show. First of all, hi, welcome. You picked a great week with me not being able to talk straight. But these are pre-painted Aoshima kits, are pre-painted from the ground up, meaning the chassis are painted, the interiors are painted, the glass is blacked, the body is painted. The only thing you have to consider is, of course, it's still all on the sprues. So you do have to cut the stuff off, and you will have those, non-painted areas. So there's the, I said, Ice Silver Metallic, and you have the Crystal Black Silica, which I believe is sort of the Toyota version of the white matte clear coat, where this is sort of a matte clear, if you will. Like the color itself is matte, and then there's a clear coat put over it, so it has that weird thing where it sort of looks matte in some light and it's glossy when you're close to it, with the way the white was on the Subarus. So that is again back out or reissued. They've never been available in those colors. Those were brand new colors this spring. And I want to see if there's anything else before we go. Oh, I guess we're done with that. Looks like. Yep. All right, so we have BMAX as our last thing here. First up, a straight reissue to restock the kit that sold out in like 6 days, and that is the Lancia Delta S4. So for people who weren't really following this kit sold out in less than a week out of BMAX's ability to restock. So it finally got another run for people who have been waiting on that. There are a couple of aftermarket decal sheets coming up for this kit this summer. Be interested to see which ones come out first. It'll be a toe tip version as well as the SO version, which looks just like the Super Delta. It's going to be a black and gold car. One's going to be, I think actually both of them are coming out of decal cost, so it'll be interesting to see which one actually shows up first. I think they said the toe tip one is supposed to be rated in a month, although the Esto one was announced a long time before that, so I don't know what they're waiting on. Probably decal fit issues. That's what I was thinking. Bugaboo's decals. Like you print them out, they look good, you put them on a model, and they don't fit. You have to go back and rework them. Also, with that comes out the detail upset, which in this case comes with a couple sheets of photo etch, some antenna material, some seatbelt material, the Saybelt decals, as well as about 3 sheets of carbon fiber decals for the chassis, for the interior, for the engine bay. Very, very nice to see this stuff come with it, because while it's not probably as comprehensive as something from like say, a Studio 27 or Scale Motorsports, is more than enough to make the model presentable in a contest setting against people who would use aftermarket carbon fiber, so that's nice. And then the modified reissue kit we've been waiting on for a little while here, just because it's been out in Hong Kong for about a month. It's finally out in Japan and everywhere else now. It is this, the 1992 BMW M3 E30 Sport Evo 2. You're getting a 2-in-1 livery here, where you get the FINA livery as well as the Jägermeister livery. Both of these are 1992 DTM season liveries. It does say a second set of wheels, because if you look at the Jägermeister car there, it has a set of what I believe are, I didn't look at the decals to see if they think these are Ronalds or if they think they're Oz. I think they think they're Oz racing wheels. They both look kind of the same in real life. It's kind of interesting because the Jägermeister car, at least as far as the reference photos I have, never ran those wheels. I think they threw them in here just as sort of a, hey, have a nice set of wheels, another reason to buy this. I don't think the Jägermeister car ever ran those wheels, though. They always ran the BBS rims that the FINA car has, at least every reference photo I've ever seen of a car. There were other cars in DTM that ran those wheels, and there is an aftermarket set of decals that requires those wheels to do the car correctly, but I don't believe you require them for this specific car. But be that as it may, this kit's back out. New parts are, of course, those wheels. There are also a new rear spoiler. The mirrors technically are new, but they were in the kit already. They've just been silently, you don't use these parts kind of things, but now you use them. So the mirrors and the mirror faces were already in the kit, but they're new technically speaking. And then there is the Evo Sports detail upset. So this is the photo set specifically for the Sport Evo 2. I don't really know that there's any difference between the two in terms of like anything being different. Maybe the brakes are cut a little bit differently as far as the cross-drill pattern, but otherwise I think these two detail upsets are pretty much identical. In this case, you get the photo etch set, you get seatbelt material, you get the antenna, the Saybelt decals, and I do know you get one little sheet of carbon fiber that you're supposed to use for the rear wing. I've never seen any of these cars run a raw carbon fiber rear wing, however. So I guess that's in there if you want to use it. But the FINA car had a white wing. The Jägermeister car has an orange wing. I don't know. Maybe they're supposed to be for like the inside area of the wing that wouldn't have gotten painted. But again, I've never seen one run a raw carbon wing before. So use to your own devices, I guess. I'm going to make sure we don't have anything else that we need to cover. Nope, that looks like I got it all. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Patience for the fact that I sound like I have like a combination of a slurred speech and braces, but hopefully in another couple of days here we can get this taken care of and be back to normal. But in the meantime, hope you guys had a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on the other side.